Hello, this is Miho from Canada. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are good and fit mentally and physically. So I'm always big on mindset because this mindset really determines how your life goes. If your mindset is really shaky and weak, it really turns your life miserable. And if it gets really bad, you're living hell. Literally, you wish you ended your life that bad. I've seen the examples and I've dealt with it, so I kind of know what's like to have the mental health being disturbed because of this mindset. It's nothing to do with disease, like illness, actual body function. It's more of your how you think and how you put your mind to it, to events that's happened in your life. And you'll always face something difficult or challenging, and that happens to anyone. Even though you think those people who are very happy, successful, healthy, and still they do have a challenge that you might not notice, but they do. But they have such a mindset that they deal with it much better or quicker or both. And when you don't have this good mindset, you take this challenge or difficulties that happen in your life to make it even bigger unnecessarily and even scarier, and make it sound or make it like a sort of the monster that you will create, from this big to like really big, so to the point where you cannot really deal with it. And it's all in your mindset too. And in order to have a great life in your own terms, this mindset really follows you no matter which stage of your life could be. And because your life evolves and you're always growing, as a humans, we always want it to grow, want more. So when you do clear one stage, and you could stay there as long as you want, but as a human being, you have these needs coming up, like a burning desire to do a little bit more. And as you go along, you will face another challenge or difficulties to overcome. And you go little by little, go step by step, and you really exceed, and the quality of your life or your as a person grows and improves. So it's never ending. So in order to have your life fulfilled and happy and joyful, this mindset is the key. And this also integrates with being authentic and being who you really are. And I talk about this part a lot because I was living totally away from my alignment, like who you really are, because of all those blocks that I had. I still have them, but those times that I was living in a very negative world where I wasn't myself. I pretended to be somebody else because so a lot of fears, a lot of guilt, and a lot of shame that I've been putting by other people, or like as a part of growing up, I learned certain habits to put myself down and put my self-esteem down and put my worth down. So it's been sort of a training myself to become that way, like putting myself really low and it's not worth it kind of area. So of course that mindset then was really bad. So when you have no alignment with yourself, your mindset also not good. So you start to compare yourself to the others, and there is no sense to it. When you have a good mindset and when you're aligned to yourself, you accept who you really are, accept just the way you are, including goods and bads. So when you have that good mindset, you have a different perspective of dealing with any challenges that you face. But if you don't, if you're not aligned with yourself, which means you have a really bad mindset as well, you start to compare yourself to the others and you put yourself down or you beat yourself and you wish to be someone else, or you complain about what you don't have, and you're complaining about your situations and people that you don't have to support you. And so you always focus on the outside of yourself instead of internally. So when you have a good mindset, when you really accept yourself of who you really are, being authentic, your vision has changed. And you start to think, okay, you don't need to compare yourself to the others, because the others have total different background, total different lifestyle, the way they grew up, and you cannot really copy that person's life. So fundamentally, you're not comparing equal things. We are all humans, but we built on a different beliefs and cultures and family structures and beliefs. So there's no point of comparing yourself to the others. And you complain about your situation right now because you didn't have this and that. Instead, you start thinking, okay, how could I improve? What could I do to become the one that you want to be, or what you want to do? So you start thinking about the methods, how you get there, instead of complaining and stalling in one spot. So it's the same energy spent either stalling and complaining, or you put your energy towards the goal or the direction that you want to become or what you want to do. So that's the big shift for the mindset as well. And when you have a good mindset and you align to yourself and be authentic, you really trust yourself much better. This is the hard things to do, because the way you've been brought up, maybe you have so many doubts about yourself, and this will come from time to time when you proceed along the way in your life. But when you have a good mindset, you have this trust inside of yourself, and that really keeps you going. And that comes also being yourself and being aligned yourself, that be authentic with yourself. And if you don't have that, like say I was living in a dark zone and a negativity world, of course you don't trust yourself. Your mindset is off. So you tend to give up really quickly. And by giving up that, you put yourself down, see what happened, I can't do this. And you start repeating that phrase over and over and get frustrated and maybe get angry. So it becomes a vicious cycle. And when you align to yourself, you still feel doubt, because this is something that you've never done before, or something that's scary or scares you, but you really have a good vision of it's possible, and you start to look for the proof out there, proof of people who've already done it, proof of people who are already making that process that you think it's scary and you have a self-doubt. So you start to think, okay, there is a possibilities out there, because some people are actually doing it and proving it. So instead of stalling, in a bad mindset and putting yourself down and feeling down and frustrated, when you have a good mindset, you start to seek for the proof that people who already done it, and it gives you like a little encouragement or hope that okay, it might be possible. So it's the same energy that you spend on, but it's totally different perspective and end results of your life. And when you have a good mindset, and when you face something new and difficult and scary, you know the way to back up and see the whole picture. And like you start to analyze, okay, so what could I do to make it better than what I am right now? And you start to implement different methods or different learning skills to really enhance your quality of life. When you have bad mindset, probably your worries and anxieties come up and you spend a lot of time focusing on that, and so you're not really looking at the whole picture. You're almost like really focusing on to just one little thing, and you just stays there because you don't really see the rest of the whole picture. So that really takes a lot of energy out of you, and it doesn't produce anything good. When you focus on worries and anxieties, what you get is more worries and anxieties. So you need to shift from that, and just knowing that, you could catch when you start doing it, because it's easy for human beings, including me, to just focus on what's happening right this moment. And you have a lot of feelings and emotions, and the past experience, and a lot of heaviness of emotions from the past experience will just tap in, and it comes out and it pops up to really makes it bigger and scarier. So it's more like a training to have this good mindset, and it's like this working out for 1 hour. So you did a really good workout, but the rest of the day, 23 hours eating junk food, straight. So that really doesn't really pay off the workout that you put in. Same for the mindset. So you worked on the mindset, or you heard good stories, and now you feel good. Okay. And the rest of the day, 23 hours feeding really, the junk thoughts, negativities. So that doesn't really, pay off what you put in. So it's a training throughout your life, and be aware of what you're thinking is the key. When you have a bad mindset, you're also thinking a lot of things, but it's all towards the negativities and putting yourself down, and always looking for something that's not good. So it's the same energy you put it in, but it's in a different direction, which is away from who you really are. So when you align yourself to be who you are, it really helps to have this mindset to work. And when you're not aligned with yourself, this good mindset doesn't really last, because it's not really talking to you directly. If I was away from who I was, like pretending to be somebody else, and then try to have the good mindset, it just doesn't quite register, because this is not who I am. So bring yourself to who you really are, and being authentic is the really fundamental part to build this good mindset. And those people who really successful and having a great life and a happy life, healthy, wealthy, they do spend a lot of time on mindset because they know the payoff is. They know how the valuable the mindset is. And it's intangible thing. So you cannot really poke at it. So it's hard to measure, but it's in your mind. And when you are aligned yourself, it's much easier to train yourself to have a good mindset. It's a trainable. So even though you're away from yourself, you think, okay, this is not me, but you could really train yourself to really become in align with yourself. Because the first, you just need to realize and notice that you're not quite who you really are. So find that core part of you, who you really are. It's really a great gift to yourself. And you're going to have a great mindset, and it will carry you through the rest of your life very strong. And you can learn so much with this mindset because this has a different levels too. So as long as you are really aligned yourself, being yourself, and accept just the way you are, it's much easier to scoot your life. Of course, you're going to have a challenge and a difficult times and a scary moments, and it's a constant, occurrence as long as you keep moving, but you will pass through much better way, easier way, I would say. So this is about the mindset and being yourself. It's interact each other. It's like hand to hand, both of them. So have a great day and see you soon.